Nathan's combat class with Jason had turned dangerous. Nathan never backed out of a fight, but today was personal.
One day, I'll make your father my slave and piss on him.
And that was when Nathan lost his cool. Little did Nathan know, it was a fatal mistake.
Headmaster, stop the duel! Nathan, yield, please! I yield.
Not enough for me.
Nathan smiled back at his father as they sat across from each other at the hotel restaurant table. Well, Father, why don't we arm wrestle? That way, you can see my true strength and take heart in the fact that I was not lying about the exam. Ulrich nodded his head and held up his wrist, with his elbow flush to the table. Father and son clasped each other's hands and smiled as Amelia looked on. Sister, would you please count down from 3 for us? 3, 2, 1, go! An empty flagon fell off the table as Ulrich pressed down on his son's palm. Ulrich dared not use his full strength against Nathan. He was only 14 years old, after all. But, to Ulrich's amazement, Nathan's arm didn't budge. Nathan's arm stood tall against his father's effort, like a stone unscorched inside a fiery furnace. Incredible! I thought this amount of pressure would have buckled him by now. My son really is something. I guess I better try a bit harder now. Ulrich caught his breath and pressed down again with 50% of his strength, but once again, Nathan's wrist wouldn't move. Amelia giggled as Nathan yawned playfully. Ulrich's lips curved up in a smile. That cheeky little lad of mine, he's asking for it. Let's see how long he can handle this. Ulrich reset again, and this time, his bicep muscles bulged under his shirt. He pressed his son's hand downwards with 80% of his full power, while also channeling his spirit energy into his attack. Amelia bit at her fingernails nervously as she watched. Careful, Father. Don't hurt him. But the result was no different than before. Nathan's hand did not move an inch. It was as if it had somehow been bolted down to the table. Amelia laughed, utterly amazed. Ulrich's jaw dropped in shock. Impossible. His hand didn't even flinch. If he can handle 80% of my strength so easily, no. That must mean, could Nathan's spiritual fighting level be higher than my own? What in all the heavens is happening right now? Nathan smiled gently as he took a deep breath. All right, Father. I believe it's my turn to attack. Nathan smoothly exerted a small amount of force and immediately pressed his father's wrist down to the table, knocking Ulrich off balance. Instantly, Nathan pulled his father back up. Ulrich staggered, barely managing to stay in his chair as it rocked. Sorry about that, Father. Are you all right? Ulrich gazed at his son with a puzzled expression on his face. Dazed, it took him nearly half a minute before he spoke. Nathan worried. Have I taken things too far? Will Father be upset with me? Amelia also grew concerned. Father, are you well? Ulrich smashed the table again, this time out of pure joy and excitement. He stood up, clenched his fists, and launched into a booming chuckle that echoed out over the entire restaurant. Incredible! What a blessing! A true blessing, the likes of which we've never seen before. Amelia, quickly, go ask the cook for more flagons of wine. We've got much more celebrating to do. Amelia smiled as she nodded and swiftly left the room once more. Luckily, the restaurant itself was totally dead, since everyone in town was still out watching the examination in the plaza. Had there been other patrons, they would have thought Ulrich had lost his mind. Ulrich paced back and forth in front of their table, occasionally clasping his hands together toward the ceiling while he laughed. Thank the heavens, I have such a gifted son. I can't believe my luck. He nearly pulled me to the floor with a casual tug. What a way to learn that the young lad has surpassed me. I was horrified I'd made a terrible mistake when I stayed home to raise him instead of chasing after Priscilla's killer. But now, fate has shown me that it was meant to be. Father, what's gotten into you? You're pacing around like a caged animal. Ulrich grasped his son's shoulders and brought him into a tight bear hug. With strength like that, you must have reached the master level already. The master level at the age of 14? What an achievement! Why, I don't think anyone in the history of House Hayfield has even come close to that. Careful, Father. You're squishing me under your hug. With a power level like yours, you'll be fine. Just bask in the moment with me a while longer, lad. All this time, I left you to your own training. I never imagined you would have come this far on your own. No wonder you've been so cocky lately. You've got the skills to back it up. Please, release me. It's hard to breathe. Ulrich finally stopped hugging his son and shook his head. He saluted his son. He'd always cherished his children, but now he'd reached a whole new level of respect for Nathan. When Amelia returned with another round of Calandrian wine, the three of them spent the hour drinking and laughing together. At one point, Ulrich turned to his daughter as she enjoyed a third cup. Amelia, I never knew you to be much of a drinker. What's changed? Well, my studies are done, my father is happy, and my brother is strong. For years, I've worried about our family's survival and felt like I could never relax. But for the first time in forever, I feel hope again. In that case, cheers! And cheers as well to little brother Nathan's excellent performance. Hear, hear! All of them cheered as they drank. Hours passed, and soon Amelia had found a place to nap up against the table as Ulrich and Nathan sat around and chatted. Ulrich motioned to Amelia as he sipped water. That one sure celebrated tonight. She's been the happiest I've seen her in a long time. Yes, Father, it's nice to see. Ulrich's good mood slowly soured. He scratched his head as a guilty look crossed his face. I haven't made things easy on her. She's had to handle her studies and help me handle the family business, not to mention take on your mother's role. She shouldn't have had to do all that. She should have been able to enjoy being a young lady more. I don't want to keep getting in the way of her own happiness. What do you mean, Father? I mean, I should have handled more of the pressure myself, but instead, I let her take on more responsibilities than I should have. Amelia ought to be concerned with her own dreams and desires, not mine. She's grown into a selfless young lady who deserves better than all this danger and political intrigue. As Nathan stared back at his father, his head began to hurt. He'd never felt so close to his father as he did in that moment. Nathan couldn't remember much about his family in his past life, but the love he felt from Ulrich and Amelia was something that he'd never experienced before. That much was certain.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.